What's up guys, it's Rogue2 here and welcome back to yet another amazing video on the channel. So for today, I got you a future deck profile, or shall I say a deck profile from the future. This is of course post DUNE, as you have seen by the video title, and it is of course to do with Rescue Ace. Now Rescue Ace is a deck that I had a very strong love for. As soon as it came out, I instantly saw the potential. I told people that I saw the potential, they didn't necessarily believe me. Boom, the two new cards that got announced for them absolutely broke the deck. They're currently very strong in the OCG, and I believe when they do hit the TCG, they will at least be meta contenders. So without any further ado, let's get straight into this deck profile. But if you do enjoy this type of content, make sure you do leave a like and subscribe down below. Also leave a comment whilst you're down there. I respond to every single one of them. Also check out our membership program if you want to become even further involved with this channel. So let's get on to the deck profile. We are rocking 41 cards. This list is heavily inspired by OCG results and OCG winning decks from massive tournaments. Rescue Ace are taking the OCG by storm at the moment. And we're starting off with Rescue Ace Hydrant. Now Hydrant is an absolutely insane card. It's one of the many one-card starters the deck has. What you don't know is, if you control another Rescue Ace, the Hydrant itself cannot be targeted, which protects it from Effect Veiler, and it protects it from Imperm, which is really nice. And then once per turn, you can just use this effect to add a Rescue Ace card from your deck to your hand, which is of course amazing. And he also has not really an activated effect, but the effect that the turn that a quick play is set, you can activate it. So that means that when you have a trap that banishes from the grave to reset a quick play spell during your opponent's turn, you can immediately activate it. And if you set during your turn as well, you can immediately activate them as well. So Rescue Ace Hydrant, mandatory 3 of, absolutely insane card and a beautiful collector, I must say. Now for a card I don't see a lot of people playing at 3, I think he's insane. We have triple of the Rescue Ace Impulse. Let me move him a bit down just for the glare there. Rescue Ace Impulse is an E-Telly from the deck. That's how you got to see him. He also has the bonus effect that if he is on the field, you can use his effect. You choose one monster your opponent controls with the highest attack, and then neither player can activate those effects. It gets through the Pearly XCs. Cards are unaffected because basically it's not targeting the monster, it's affecting the players. So that is a really good thing about this card. And if your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, you contribute him from the field or your hand, which is amazing, and special summon a Rescue Ace straight out of the deck. So I think 3 of, he's a warrior as well, so you can rota for him. Insane, what can I say? Another one card starter here. We have triple Rescue Ace Airlifter. If you don't know what he does, is on normal or special, he adds you a Rescue Ace spell from your deck to your hand. This is a really good way of getting your field spell. Your field spell gives you an additional normal summon and makes you able to recycle your resources forever. Also, if your opponent activates a monster effect while he's in the hand or field, you contribute him and special summon a Rescue Ace monster from your hand. So if you do open a lot of the big ones, you can at least unclog with your Rescue Ace Airlifter. But he himself is a one-card starter. You're always usually going to add your new spell that's coming out called Emergency, which is an E-Telly from the deck, and you're going to be bringing out your boss monsters that way. Speaking of boss monsters, here is the old boss monster. You can argue he's still the boss monster of the deck now. We have double Rescue Ace Turbulence. This card is incredible. I instantly saw the potential this deck had when I read this card. Don't know what he does. He's basically like a UCT. He's going to special summon himself by banishing two Rescue Ace cards from your graveyard. Yes, your Emergency, your Rescue, and your Alert all count as Rescue Ace cards. It says it in the text. They are always considered Rescue Ace, which is brilliant. And what you're going to do is during the main phase, you're going to set up to 4. Guys, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Rescue Ace cards, spells, quick play spells, normal traps from your deck directly to the field. Yes, they had to be different names, but that is absolutely insane. You go +4 of this card, and if a card on the field leaves your field because an opponent's card effect, he blows up 1 card on the field as well, which is just extra effect that no one even really knows about. Now, I'm going to do my best to have a picture here of the new card. This is Rescue Ace Preventer, I believe his name is. He is one of the key pieces that the deck needed as support. He is insane interruption and recursion. I'm going to tell you what his effects do based on my memory. You can summon him by banishing 1 Rescue Ace card from your graveyard, so it's easier to bring out than Turbulence. And as long as you control another Rescue Ace during the main phase on a quick effect, you can Book of Moon one of your opponent's monsters face down every single main phase, guys. That is incredible. And when he's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can recycle a banished Rescue Ace monster from your banish pile back onto the field. So you can banish a Turbulence off him, summon him, link him off, if he leaves the field for whatever reason, you can bring back your Turbulence. That is amazing, guys. Absolutely insane. Incredible. I don't think you need 3. Arguably, with testing, if you want to play 3, you can. I think 2 is more than enough. It's amazing. With the field spell, you could be putting back things as well, so don't worry about that. For our other big monsters here, we have double of the Rescue Ace Fire Engine. He just summons himself whenever Rescue Ace is normal special to your field, so he's just a free body. And if you're a monster special summon to your opponent's side of the field, which is usually going to happen unless they're playing something like Monarchs, but even then Monarchs do special summon sometimes, he is going to special summon a level 4 lower Rescue Ace monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Just insane card. Now, from the list I saw in the OCG, they weren't really playing this guy. I think you can at least test him at 1, the Rescue Ace Monitor. If you don't know what he does, on normal or special, he's going to be your Trap Searcher, so not as good, but he's alright. I think he has a space, because if your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, he's a monster reborn, essentially. Target Rescue Ace monster in your graveyard, and you special summon it. So I feel that effect is at least playing as a one-off. He's also a warrior, so you can rota and have him in your hand for a quick play monster reborn. And we also have the 1 Rescue Ace Fire Attacker, rounding off our Rescue Ace monster count. And what he does is, he's again like Fire Engine, he is going to normal or special summon whenever a Rescue Ace monster is normal or special to your field. He is just going to come out, so another free body, really, really nice. And if your opponent adds a card to their hand, not by drawing it, you're going to be drawing 2 and discarding 1, so a bit of draw power, and I think he's a good one-of as well. Moving on to the spells, again, I'm going to have my best to have the picture here on the screen for you. This is Triple Emergency. This card has broken the deck. If you don't know what it does, you're going to be basically activating Emergency. You're going to be summoning a Rescue Ace monster out of your deck, tributing another Rescue Ace monster from your field or hand, which is not even bad, because let's say, for example, you normal summon your Rescue Ace Hydrant, activate its effect, they chain Imperma Veiler on it, you chain Emergency, summon out a guy, tribute off your Rescue Ace Hydrant, Imperma Veiler can no longer affect your Hydrant, it will resolve, and you get a free body. So absolutely crazy. And also, I believe during your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard to reset 1 of your traps. So incredible, guys, absolutely incredible. And you play a lot of one card starters, because a lot of the cards can search this. You can search this through your Rescue Ace Hydrant and through your Rescue Ace Airlifter. You can search your Airlifter through Rota, and it's incredible. For our other spells, we have 1 Rescue, really, really nice. I feel this is an incredible interruption if you have Hydrant. It can special summon any of your opponent's monsters to your field, which is crazy. Or if you don't have Hydrant, you can basically get a Rescue Ace monster from your graveyard back to your hand. We have 1 Alert, basically recursion again from the graveyard, but if you have Hydrant, you can add it's a Rota essentially. We have 1 Rescue Ace HQ, really underrated. I don't think that you should really be playing more than 1 anymore post June, because you're going to be able to recycle a lot with your Preventer anyway. But with the Rescue Ace HQ, what it does is, if your opponent controls a monster or Rescue Ace monsters, you control, gain 500 attack and defense, so they become very, very beefy boys, especially your big monsters. And during your main phase, you get an additional normal summon, which is always welcome. And then you can target 4 of your Rescue Ace cards that are banished or in your graveyard, you shuffle them, and you draw a card. So the main thing about this is you're going to be basically resetting your spells and traps that you only play 1 of, so the Rescue, the Alert, and the other traps that we play at 1 of, back into the deck, drawing a card, and then getting your Rescue Ace Turbulence to reset them from the deck to the field. That is the whole game plan with this deck, and why it is essential that you play at least 1 copy of Rescue Ace HQ. For the traps, Extinguish. Remember, all these cards always count as Rescue Ace cards as well. Even though they don't have Rescue Ace in the name, they're always Rescue Ace cards. So Extinguish is your in-archetype sort of monster pop, and if you control Hydrant, it also acts as a sort of imperm as well, because they cannot activate their effects of that destroyed monster or monsters with the same original name this turn. So let's say you pop something like a baby Cerosaurus, pop it, it can't activate its effects in the graveyard, because you can't activate the effects of that destroyed monster this turn. So that's really cool. We have a Contain, in archetypal impermanence, and also if you control Hydrant, that monster cannot be used as Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link Summon this turn, so it's a no material if you control the Hydrant as well as a bonus effect. And we have the 1 Reinforce. This was the support that we got before June. It was okay. I think the card's a decent one. Of what it does is target Rescue Ace monster you control the rest of the turn, it gains 1,500 attack and defense. That's a huge gain during the damage step that your opponent is never really going to be able to dodge unless they have like an honest Neos or something like that just gains based on your monster's attack. But 1,500 is huge. Also, it becomes unaffected by your opponent's monster's effects that turn. So if they target, let's say they want to get out, they want to get rid of something, to target your monster with the monster effect, chain reinforce, they just wasted their monster effect. Also, when it's in the graveyard, you can banish this card and reset one of your Rescue Ace spells to the field. And remember, if you have Hydrant, you're going to be able to immediately activate that as well. So, amazing cards. I love them all. And that is pretty much the Rescue Ace package. We play a lot. I think it's around 26 cards on Rescue Ace. It's a massive engine, but the deck is absolutely incredible and able to search a lot of these cards. Let's move on to the non-Rescue Ace part of the deck. Triple Ash. We play Triple Ash because Rescue Ace monsters are fire. This allows us to play Sunlight Wolf, and Sunlight Wolf allows us to recycle Ash Blossoms every time we normal or special underneath one of its arrows. So recyclable Ash Blossoms is always welcome. Salmon Greats are no longer the only deck that can do that. We have double Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. We have 1 Effect Veiler and 2 Infinite Impermanence. Now, the reason I'm playing these hand traps, actually I sort of already explained, but it's also because we play Crossout Designator, and Imperm, Veiler, and Ghost Ogre are very, very strong against our Rescue Ace Turbulence. So if they Imperm, Veiler, or Ghost Ogre it, we have the Crossout in our hand, we at least have some sort of counterplay to help our Turbulence stick on the field, and not only that, resolve. So that is why we won't always have access to the emergency. So I feel like having the Crossout Designator acts as additional protection for that as well. So that is why I'm playing these hand traps, and they're just good as well. Imperm's good, Veiler's good, and Ogre's good as well. So they're just good as well, which is a bonus effect if you do draw them. For our spells, triple pot, extra deck isn't that important. We of course want to maximize our extra deck, but extra deck isn't vital in this deck. There isn't a single Rescue Ace card that is from the extra deck, so Pot of Prosperity is very free and makes this deck hyper consistent. I sort of already brushed over this card. Double Crossout Designator to give us that protection with the 1 Call by the Grave. This package with Emergency offers us a lot of protection from hand traps, and that's sort of what we want. We want our turbulences to resolve. We want to be able to set forth from the deck and really take over the game. And of course, the 1 Reinforcement of the Army, because some of our Rescue Ace monsters are warriors instead of machines. So that is 41 cards in the main. Let's now move on quickly to the extra deck. So here we are in the extra deck. If you have gotten this far in the video, make sure you do subscribe. I really do appreciate it. We are very close to 2,000 subscribers, so let's make that happen before the end of the year. We have for our Link 5, R1 Underworld Goddess. Again, there's no real counterplay to this card. If you have enough monsters, you can absorb one of your opponents, even if it's unaffected. It's through game mechanic. It's absolutely brilliant. I love this card. We have the 1 Beautiful Access Code Talker. Again, helps us push for game, and the opponent can't respond to this card's effects, so they really have to hit it with an Imperm or Veiler when it's open gameplay, and then again we have Crossout to protect him. We have the 1 Appaloosa. You can spam a lot of bodies onto the field with this deck, so you can make Appaloosa. We again have the Top Logic Bomber Dragon. This links really well with our rescue card. Summon one of our opponent's monsters, or you can even summon some of our own monsters underneath the zones and constantly Raigeki our opponent and deal damage. Again, same theory for Top Logic Trisbana, but for the back row, which we can struggle with. We can struggle with back row matchups, so we prioritize making the Top Logic Trisbana and summoning underneath its zones to banish all the back row, and we don't have to worry about that anymore. 1 Nightmare Unicorn, because we play the IP package as well, so just a quick shuffle back during our opponent's turn. Again, I mentioned him, 1 Sunlight Wolf. We're never going to play a second because we don't play any salad cards, but he's very nice to get back Ash Blossoms. 1 Nightmare Phoenix, because it's spell and trap removal, it's fire, and we have good arrows, especially if we make it underneath a wolf. We can chain block, add an Ash, and draw a card as well. 1 Donna Dagger for hire, just removal. Takes 2 monsters, so if you summon something that's a bit awkward from your opponent's graveyard, you can immediately link it off. Just takes 2 monsters with different types. 1 Dark, the Dark Charmer, helps link climb. 1 Heater, because we play the fires. Relinquished Anima, which is takes 1 level 1 monster, turns our Rescue Ace Hydrant from a level 1 fire into a Link 1 Dark, which helps us with our Dark, the Dark Charmer Gloomy plays. And also, if your opponent doesn't respect the zones, we absorb a card for free. 1 Link Garibo. This is if you don't want to make the Anima, they haven't got anything to steal, you can just make the Link Garibo. And the 1 Salmon Great Almirage, because if you protect your Hydrant properly, they're going to want to run over it by battle, and then this can simply come back And also we want to be putting our Hydrant in the graveyard because we want to be banishing it to summon our big boss monsters. So that is the end of this post-Dune Rescue Ace deck profile. I hope you guys did enjoy. I hope I did a good enough job in the editing, showing you the cards, what the cards actually look like, so you can be on the lookout for them and you can read them yourselves. Again, if you do enjoy this type of content, make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video. If you want to see a post-Dune Rescue Ace combo guide, please do let me know, and I'll be more than happy to do that for you. I'm Rogue to here, and I'll see you all in the next video.